Alright, so today we are going to be trying out Lunistice. This game is really interesting from the little bit I've seen. It's developed by a grumpy fox, so I feel that on a spiritual level. You do indeed know what I am and what I am about. Good. But yeah, it's kind of like a 32-bit slash PS1 slash like Sega Saturn-ish inspired 3D platformer. It looked really cool. I bought this like 2 or 3 years ago, and then like a month ago or something, a couple weeks ago, it wasn't that long ago, my neighborhood had a power outage. So I was just like messing around on my Switch. I'm like, what do I have on my Switch that I can just play while the power is out? And so I did like a world of this, and I'm like, you know what, I think I want to save this for stream, not just because the name of the game company is a grumpy fox, though that did definitely play a role in my decision to be like, maybe I should just stream this. One nice thing is you can use the bumpers for jump and attack as well, but that was the tutorial. I've already played the stage, so I knew exactly what to do. But yeah, we play as a little tanuki. There's something else too that'll be very funny to one person in chat in particular once we jump into the game.
September 2nd, 2453. Almost a full year of simulations with no tangible results. I'm continuing to do small tweaks to the process, but without deeper understanding of the underlying system. I wish we could contact the professor, but communications are still disrupted. She would know what to do. She is responsible for this whole situation after all. At least my quarantine thread seems to be holding up. It seems like preparations for the next sample loop are complete. Our next case is a scout, Hana, who's been showing signs of minimal control over the program. I'm, well, not getting my hopes up anymore, but... Anyway, commencing sample loop in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So yeah, we play as a tanuki named Hana. It looks like we're kind of stuck in a time loop or something, but I obviously do not know, as I have not played this game in full. So yeah, it's interesting. I like the aesthetic of it immediately. There is also the ability to turn off the filter, or actually no, it's just turn on CRT filter, which again, a good CRT filter is something I really appreciate. You can also turn on and off depth of field. It kind of breaks a few things, it looks like. Camera options. There's actually an interesting thing in gameplay. You can basically turn on smooth turning. So instead of like snapping in a direction, you kind of lean into it. I actually will use that, but it's also a little bit like... It kind of throws me off a little bit, because sometimes I can't turn... Like, if I do this, you can't really turn very sharply, which is a little bit confusing. You can also hold the right trigger to slow walk, which I'm sure will come in handy later, but I'm gonna kind of zoom through this hopefully, because I've already done this level a couple of times to kind of warm up. Again, this part is not a first time playthrough because I have seen this little opening bit, but once we get to like World 2 especially, I'm very much going to be in the dark. You also have a bit of a DKC setup where you have letters to collect to spell Hana. Which, from what I gather, does unlock a bonus thing in every level. I'll be going for all the bonus things at the very least, but again, I don't know entirely what completing this game entails, because again, I am under the impression there are 2 more playable characters that are unlocked after. They're like hard modes, like you have less health. Like we have 3 hit points in the top left. So I don't know how much that'll actually make a difference. But again, this is gonna be a pretty low-key stream, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm kind of feeling mellow today. I'm kind of in a recovery mode of all things, just because it's like... There's a lot of good things that happened last week. I definitely did a lot in the past few days, but I'm definitely feeling a lot of things catch up to me all at once, if that makes sense. So yeah, I was not in the mood to, spoiler, for the next Game Clear. Not Game Clear, but Fox Girls Favorites. I was not in the mood to play Pikmin 2 in full. to be perfectly honest. So this was kind of a last minute pivot, I'll fully admit. It's kind of an impulse of like, you know what, I've been wanting to stream this game for a little bit as like a game player, so let's just do that today. Pikmin 2 will likely start on next Monday. I don't want to do it as a Thursday game just because I usually keep those streams a little bit shorter. But yeah, if you collect all of the letters to Spahana, to my understanding, you have these little platforms appear, which go to a secret. So you can actually use the spin attack as an extension of your jump, which is really nice. But we got a little thing, little secret exit. NFI result S0, results 0. Damn, that feels ominous. So yeah, there's also PB times, so you can also like 100% in that regard to like speedrun times. From what I gather, it tracks everything separately, so you don't have to do everything in one run. So like, if you want to go out of your way for all the cranes, you don't have to do it deathless or speedrun it at the same run. This is specifically the Switch version also, so I don't have achievements to worry about, which, truth be told, I actually prefer not having achievements because it just becomes busy work. Like, a lot of people love achievements. I actually don't, because it just makes it so it's like, oh, I feel obligated to do a bunch of random bullshit that I would not normally do otherwise. But again, that's just kind of my weird FOMO brain and like completionist brain talking. I fully admit, ow. A good example is Final Fantasy 13, we'll get to that later, potentially. I'm actually really on the fence on if I want to include Final Fantasy 13 for our Fox Girls favorites, because on one hand, it is a very influential game to me personally. On the other hand, it's also like really tedious for the first like 10 to 15 to 20 hours. And I didn't mind on my first playthrough, but also, to be blunt, it was my first Final Fantasy, so I had nothing to compare it to. Now that I do have something to compare it to, I kind of worry I wouldn't actually like Final Fantasy 13 very much, if I'm being real. But I'm almost curious to play it again. Someone gifted it to me on Steam, because it was on my wish list. So part of me wants to legit give it another fair shake and see see if I still feel okay about it. I love the character of Lightning, and Fang also, but I don't remember much else standing out. And the story is just a lot of like fantasy jargon nonsense, to be blunt. It's like if you like the lassie, the fallacy, let's see, what else? There's something else I'm thinking of too. That's like, again, just kind of in that camp of like sci-fi jargon. But yeah, Final Fantasy 13 is an interesting game for that reason, to the point where it's like, I don't know if I want to stream that game, but I almost do. Do I want to commit to it is the other problem. I already have like 7 RPGs in my Fox Girls favorites lineup as is. Do I want to add another? 2 of them are Final Fantasy, so you can guess one if you know the name of the main character of one of the games. That's a lie. They're the deuteragonist, if we want to be blunt. I don't know if she has, actually. I almost was gonna recommend it, like if, you know, I enjoy the game. This is kind of in my back pocket, because I've almost got enough points to submit something. The only problem is that something like this probably will not win, just based on the nature of it. I'd have to do a hard sell on it. That's the funny thing about, like, the fortune cookie system that Claire has set up, is I metagame, and I sometimes metagame too hard. I fully will admit that. My favorite moment in that regard, well, obviously you have 2 favorite moments. One is like Constellation Tango with Gwen, and like doing a hard sell on that, which was very worth it. But then the other was Guilty Gear Strive, where I made some joke about like, I want to get my ass kicked by my like favorite streamer, and then the mods are like, yeah, like you're not gonna like deprive this person of getting your ass kicked, are you? And it was just a very funny moment. Am I going backwards? I think I'm going backwards, actually. Yeah, sometimes I have oversold things in terms of trying to make descriptions for the cookie jar very memorable. Thank you for the hydration check. We'll get to that very shortly. I might do the stage again just to try. I swear, I have no clue what way's forward here. I'm so turned around. I'm just gonna restart, actually. I'm really disoriented. In general, I'm always very cagey about recommendations because my gaming tastes are bizarre as hell, and I'll fully admit that. I'm not even gonna pretend like my gaming tastes are remotely mainstream in any capacity. Like, what are my favorite games? My favorite game is Xenoblade 3. What's my second favorite game? Thousand Year Door, probably. Third favorite is Wind Waker. It's like, a lot of my game tastes are one very Nintendo leaning, so if you're not into Nintendo, my recommendations fall apart very quickly, or my ability to recommend games falls apart very quickly. However, I do feel like, in general, I don't like hyping up the games I like because I know my tastes are weird, to the point where, you know, I'm not gonna just say, hey, everyone should play Ghost Trick. However, everyone should play Ghost Trick. This is a terrible example. One moment, recalibrating. I need to come up with a better example, because I think Ghost Trick is a game that everyone should play once in their life. Fun thing, I got a Humble Bundle like a year ago that had a bunch of Capcom games. I still have a code for Ghost Trick that I've never actually used, because I have the Switch version, and I never gave it to anyone. I don't know if the code still works, but it's like, part of me wants to like ask a friend, like, hey, would you be interested in playing Ghost Trick? Because I have a code, and you're free to use it if you want. It's like, I feel like a friend recently expressed interest in Ghost Trick to the point where it's like, I should ask them if they just want the code that I have. I gave someone a copy. They came with a code for Ace Attorney Trilogy also, and I gave that to someone. They never played it because I found out later they don't actually like visual novels, so that was awkward. I kind of almost wish I had given it to someone else in hindsight if I had known, but oh well. Live and learn, as they say. Hanging on the edge of tomorrow. That's something else I should do at some point. I should do more like Sonic Adventure 2 content, like a randomizer or something. To be blunt, I don't... Maybe this is me selling myself short, but I don't kind of feel like a crowd control stream for me would go particularly well. Maybe that's just me, but it's almost like I almost feel like I don't have enough like consistent viewership to justify like crowd control. So I feel like if I did a crowd control playthrough, it would just be kind of a normal playthrough anyway. But again, that might just be me kind of selling myself short there. So yeah, this is very Celeste, not to compare games to each other, but the like blocks at the end are giving Celeste a bit. Oh, PB, maybe there isn't like an S rank time or something. I actually don't know. But anyway, that's World 1. So you get these little secret files. Welcome Doctor, NFI Deep Dive Archival System. Archive, HANA.NFA. I'm not gonna read all that other stuff out. But yeah, you have a key in one level and a document in another level. Is there a way to read the documents? I actually don't know. Alright, summer level. Interesting. Yeah, part of me is legitimately considering what I talked about before, of like, being more self-indulgent, just playing my own music, if I actually, just turn off, you know, saving it to the VOD. I actually found out I wasn't saving the intermission music to the VOD for a long time. Oops. Or not to the VOD, but to the main audio track. So it kept getting lost. No, it wasn't saving period, it was just complete silence after the actual stream. So yeah, oops. But I might turn it back off if I just want to be, you know, self-indulgent. You can't jump out early, okay. The problem is, like, with Idol is I don't own any other Idol music at the moment. This is a dangerous thing to be saying. But like, oh, is that? Okay, that actually looks like progression. What an eye emoji for? What's the eyes for, Aiden? I'm scared. It's like, you know, I don't own... It's like, the only thing I own is Minnie's album. For obvious reasons. Unfortunately, I kind of mashed mine a little bit, as soon as I got it. I kind of murphed part of it, which is fine. It's very flimsy, as it turns out, which is a quick reminder of why I stopped buying, like, K-pop albums in the first place, because it's like, these are really expensive and also kind of flimsy. But, like, the contents inside are generally fine, just the outer, like slip case is kind of bent at parts. I don't want to buy a second album for $30 though. I think I want to buy the pink version. It's like I'm gonna run out of room eventually. But it's like I thought about picking up like We Are, which is like their most recent EP, because I really like it. And I think that one is a jewel case, so that would be nice. Nice thing about Idol, I've discovered, 2 streams in a row by the way of like going on about my K-pop hyperfixation. But the one thing I really like about Idol is like their music is just kind of available. Like, it's kind of nice not having to like go to the like very niche channels, I guess, to just buy their music. Like, you know, specific K-pop vendors for like international shipping. It's like, no, you can just buy this stuff off Amazon for like normal price, which is very nice. So yeah, I kind of want just everything though. I'm very obsessive when it comes to like completion for collections, though I'm pretty sure anything past like... I'm blanking, which is what I'm thinking of. The one Queen card's on. It's like once you go back too far, it's gonna get too expensive. I'm going to be priced out because it's rare. But you're like, the more recent stuff, anything before I Never Die, I do not know if that's the one I happened to just say, which would be very funny if that actually was the case, but I actually don't know what is on there. Again, I've only been into this for like a couple, like for a month by now, so... Under a month, it was like May 20. Tomboy era, so the one before... Yeah, that makes sense that Tomboy, I mean, for obvious reasons, would be... anything before Tomboy would be hard to find, but that's a whole story I don't want to get into. But yeah, part of me is like tempted to start collecting again. I'm like, please stop yourself. Like, why are you doing this to yourself, me? But again, I haven't felt this connected with a group for a really long time, for a lot of reasons. Again, not to make a second stream in a row about K-pop, because that was basically what the Air Ride stream turned into. This looks dangerous. But we'll give it a shot. Actually, that was really easy, okay. I have a feeling this game won't be that chill. I think it's gonna get harder later on. You can make these streams whatever you want. Yeah, they're my streams, so I can just ramble about whatever the hell I want. To be fair. But yeah, I've really fallen down into this Idol rabbit hole. It's like, if I got the physical of whatever the one Tomboy is on, then I can have the version where they can actually swear. Because I think that's only on the CD. I don't think it was ever released digitally. I don't see a power move. Okay. You would like to find the swear version? Yeah, same. But it's like, realistically, it's like, I almost would say stuff past, like, you know, before, like, Queen card might be kind of rare. But maybe I'd be proven wrong. I feel like I'm going on the intended path when I wanted to go not on the intended path. This feels dangerous. Yeah, no, this feels definitely like the intended path. Oops. Yeah, I think I missed something, so I'm gonna restart. Like, my favorite idol song at the moment is, like, interesting. Because, like, I have a bias for Tomboy because that was the first one I heard. Because I got into K-pop, well, I got back into K-pop around, like, 2021, 2022-ish. It would have been late 2021, because it was right before a big life change. That's very unforgettable, so... Unforgettable in good ways and bad ways, to clarify. Like, there were some good things to this major life change, but there were definitely some bad things to it too. So like, bad aspects to it. Okay, we're alive. Okay. Cool. It's also really weird that they censor Tomboy, and now they just say the F-word, like, normally in all their songs. Like, in multiple songs, they just say the F-word. They always change it to something else, like, for live performances. Like, what would giving a luck even entail? Again, game clearing streams, because I'm not having to talk about, like, my life story. Or like why a game means a lot to me, I can just kind of talk about whatever, which right now is going to be a lot of K-pop, so be aware if I do more game clearing. One game I really want to do for game clearing is the Marvel vs. Capcom collection, but I don't know if they fixed it yet, because I know there were some major issues with it. On Switch especially, though I think all the consoles had some kind of issue. Yeah, not gonna lie, I'm having a really hard time gauging what's progression and what's optional in this level. Which is, like, fun from the perspective of I like 3D platformers. But it's also a little bit overstimulating in terms of my executive dysfunction. Because it's like, wait, which way is the correct way, quote unquote? Because I don't want to go that way, I want to go the secret way first. Yeah, it's really hard to tell. Got the same problem with Froggun. Yeah, I also still need to play Froggun, actually. Also, hi Freeze, welcome on in. But yeah, I like the vibe of this. I love how we're in a, like, 32-bit renaissance at the moment. You know, I like Shovel Knight, and that'll definitely be a game clear at some point, because I still need to do everything past Plague of Shadows, not even kidding. Including Plague of Shadows, I still have not ever done that. But because of that, I do actually need to eventually hop into that. And do the other episodes. Like, you know, Mina the Hollower comes out in 4 months. I should probably finish Shovel Knight before then. But I don't know if I want to do all the episodes on stream. Because, yeah, I've only ever done Shovel of Hope, and again, I've had it since the Switch 1 came out, so, yeah, I definitely have a backlog. Again, I could go without buying a single game, and I could still do a new game every week for, like, perpetuity, as far as I can tell. What the hell was that path we took? Because we ended up somewhere totally different, and it's like, where even was that? It's like, I'm so confused. Cool. The other thing I'm experiencing with this current gaming era is I really like when games actually capture the vibe. Another one for this is Is it Crow Country or Crow County? I can never remember actually. But the Resident Evil inspired one where like the character models have almost like they have a look down for this era, and I really love it when games do that. Where the hell are we going? Guess down here? It's like, I can't tell. Again, I still need to play Deltarune. Okay. That's probably the A. I probably screwed up, if I'm being honest. It's fine, but... Like, Crow Country is one I really want to try. Weirdly enough, that game actually has like a pacifist mode, to my understanding. where you actually don't have any of the enemies, if you just want like an immersive sim kind of vibe, which I really appreciate. Yeah, that was the A. Shoot. Well, that sucks. I guess we'll do this level again and try to figure out where the N is. It's like so many games from a specific era were like NES coded. So like, is our... God damn it, we also missed a bunch of stuff. Interesting. So yeah, this is gonna suck actually. This is not gonna be easy. Gotta find the N and gotta find the remaining cranes. We do have to get all the cranes in one run, though, so that's gonna be fun. You know, like, Limited Run keeps bringing back old games, and that's kind of neat. Like, the one that they most recently brought back is Gex, which is like kind of a weird pull in a way. I have issues with Gex though, to be perfectly honest. I don't know how much I want to get into that though on stream. But the little bit I've seen of it almost has like issues of like Orientalism, I think is what I'm thinking the term is. The Gex collection has issues, and also specifically on Switch 2 there are issues, I've heard. But just even the original, like just the core games, I have heard not great things. The little bit I've seen on like Claire's stream, for example, this was a long time ago though, so correct me if I'm wrong, but just kind of the whole like, let's just toss every Asian thing into a blender because these are all the same culture, and it's like, please stop. Like, to me that's very frustrating how companies still do that. I mean, like, you know, Gex is like a 20-year-old game. I'm gonna give them a slight pass on that, because the culture is very different than it was back then. One game I kind of don't really give that pass is like Sifu, from what I gather. Which definitely has that problem too, from the bits I've seen of it. Like, the game looks fine, like, you know, gameplay-wise, it looks great. But just, yeah, the Orientalism, and also Stray had that problem where it's like, there's a weird mishmash of Asian cultural elements in a way that just kind of continually pisses me off in media. And again, it's partly just I will get on a soapbox about this because, hi, I was born in Korea, so I am slightly personally interested in the topic, if that makes sense, but... just, you know, because, like, for example, Korean culture is like genuinely, other than K-pop, name something from Korean culture. Like, this is an actual, like, thought I've had sometimes. It's, like, really hard to, like, find things. Like Taekwondo, I guess. But just in general, it's like, there are issues I find where it's like... a lot of things just end up being like Korean culture or like Japanese culture or Chinese culture in media, and you don't really have representation of Korean culture in media, to the point where it's like Korean actors feel like they just end up playing Japanese or Chinese characters, which is also something that irks me a lot in casting for different things. That's why, to some degree, I get so fired up about this, because I've just grown up with this my whole life. Like, you know, going back to, like, my childhood, I would see, like, actors playing roles of different ethnicities, and it would just drive me up the wall, because it's like, why is just one person playing every, like, Asian character? It's like, in this show, he's, like, a Yakuza. In this show, he's, like, you know, a Kung Fu master. It's like nothing against the actor, you gotta do what you gotta do, especially in like the 70s in some cases. But like, and that's assuming they even have an Asian actor, because a lot of times it's like, let's just get like a white person and make their eyes kind of like smaller with makeup, and that's we'll call it a day. Doctor Who has that problem really badly, of like just a bunch of white people, like, oh, they're Asian enough, kind of, and they don't actually hire Asian people. This is not a topic I was expecting to get on during this game of all things. Again, this is what happens when I try to do a chill stream, is I just get yapping. And yeah, to think that this conversation topic started because of Gex getting a remake, or a remaster. That's actually more of a port. I don't want to call it a remaster. I've also heard in general that the Carbon engine that Limited Run has is not great for some things. Like, the past PS1 efforts for the Carbon engine were not great. But again, that's anecdotal evidence from what I've just heard in passing. I've never played, like, any of the collections they've done since. The last Limited Run game I probably would have gone would be Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. Partly just because I have Ritual of the Night and Curse 1 on Switch, so I just kind of wanted to have physicals of all of them. Ow. And yeah, I still need to play Curse of the Moon too. All I know is there's a Corgi and the game is bloody hard, apparently. Especially because there's like a bunch of garbage where it's like, oh, play the game like 4 times to get the true ending kind of a thing. So it's like, every time I think maybe I'll play Curse of the Moon, I always second guess myself because it's like, I don't know if I'm in the mood to do this many playthroughs. But then again, right now I'm playing a game that might require more than one playthrough to 100%, so what am I talking about? Wow, that balloon respawns very fast. I was expecting a slightly longer cooldown on that, to be real. The vibes are very nice, I will say. Aha! Clever. If that was the way forward, I'm gonna be actually kind of like confused, because that was very clever. This screams secret area. And yeah, there's also just the issue I keep running in. Shoot. There's also the issue I keep running into in general of like, ow, we are sent very far back. That was just because I didn't jump early enough. I'm curious. There's stuff over here too, which is like confusing, because like, how are you supposed to get everything in one run if there's like different pathways? Unless there wasn't anything on that path like that was collectible. Nice. I like the little icon in the bottom right telling you you don't have to do an input. That's very convenient. Ow. I mean, we have to do this stage again anyway. Because, yeah, that obviously, that must shoot you back out at the same spot. That, like, alternate path. So yeah, this is a redo for sure. Yeah, I should probably change topics. But anyway, I don't know what topic to change to. I can go back to K-pop, I guess. You know, the old reliable. You doing fine? Aw, thank you. Aha, okay. And that does take us back here. What? I thought there's a bunch of shit over there to collect, and so I'm very confused actually. Unless I'm just completely misremembering. Where the hell's the optional thing? Because there's always like an optional thing if you got all the letters, and like, where is it? Oh, I see the platforms, I just don't see like... Oh, am I overthinking? Yeah, I'm overthinking. Aha, okay. What does this remind me of? It reminds me of the, like, the spin in Freedom Planet. I still need to play Freedom Planet 2, actually. I don't own it, actually. As much as you like these retro-inspired games, I don't like how many of them demand 100% for basic completion. Yeah. I mean, given that we're literally, like, almost halfway through the game as is, this one doesn't seem too demanding in that regard. at the very least. And again, long plays for this game often track at about like an hour, which is why I figured this would be a good game for today. Even if we go long for this game's standards, because I'm going to replay stages, it's still going to be shorter than like, and probably, you know, fingers crossed, less stressy than Pikmin 2. Yeah, I also thought she was Red Panda, but this, I literally looked up the Steam store page, like, to see, and it says Tanuki, so... But I definitely had the thought of Red Panda as well. Which I wonder why. Just trying to spot red pandas everywhere. Ow, okay. I actually don't know how to get health back, because I have done it a couple times, I don't know how. 255 cranes, we're gonna hit an overflow. Speaking of an overflow, that's another game I still need to do. I was also like, do I try playing FF5 soon? But it's like, do I do a 4-drop Fiesta? Because I could just get really bad luck and just kind of kill my enjoyment of this game. So I kind of was thinking maybe I should just do a casual run first. But then doing it in the 4-drop Fiesta summer season just felt kind of weird to me. So I might do it this fall for a game clearing option. Because again, I'm only missing like 3 Final Fantasies for single player. Again, discounting 11 and 14 expansions for obvious reasons. Ow. I'm only missing 5, 8, and 16. No, wait, 15 also. I'm missing 4. I have all but 15. I actually still don't even own a copy of 15. It's like 25 bucks. I have no excuse, but I just don't think I'm gonna vibe with 16. I just don't really like Game of Thrones that much. So that aesthetic, I guess. So I worry I'm not gonna like it. But there's a part of me that feels like I need to play it because it's like, you know, it's such a controversial game because of like how different it is from every other Final Fantasy that I kind of want to just see it for myself, I guess. Maybe checkpoints restore health. Like the little shrine gates. Not to be confused with a shrine gate, that's a very different game. Oh, we're up here now, okay. This is very good level design, in my opinion. I'm having a decent time with this. There's a demo for what it's worth. I have actually played the demo on... oh shit. I played the demo on PS5 when it came out. And I had a decent time with the gameplay. It's just the tone that I'm not, like, super jazzed about. It's a little, like... I don't know. Shoot? Too fast. Like, I like character action games. Speaking of which, DMC is on the list. But I was not in the mood for DMC 1 today. If I'm struggling... oh, shoot. Like, if I'm struggling, DMC is not a good idea. I don't want to play a stressy game, though, and you know, at least it wouldn't be DMC 3, it'd be DMC 1, which is, to my understanding, slightly less difficult. It's like DMC 3 is like the real skill check game. Why am I playing so bad all of a sudden? I will say there was a bit of an unintuitive... oh, shit. There's a bit of an unintuitive element, because... the spiked enemies can still be attacked. That doesn't feel intuitive to me. Because you'd think if an enemy is spiky, that means you wouldn't be able to attack them directly, but you can. So that feels slightly off to me, like, in terms of conveyance. But beyond that, I don't really have any strong complaints. I mean, we already got hit once, so it doesn't really matter. It's like, you know, me trying to be all picky about, like, not missing anything is like, doesn't really matter if I have to replay the stage anyway, either on my own time or on stream. If we get all the cranes and get, like, the secret item for the stage, either the key or the... like, document, I'll just move on and beat the stage deathless on my own time probably. But if I actually do need the collectibles, I'll go out of my way for that. Again, I don't think you need to do everything deathless, like S rank everything to unlock like the true ending. I think it's just the collectibles, so... Again, I literally cannot tell what's progression or not, sometimes. Looks like there's something above. I cannot stand on that. Can I stand on this? I sort of can. Well now I'm curious. Yeah, no, I don't think I can actually get up to that. No, never mind. I was overthinking. This looks like the end of the stage. I think I should have gone the other way. Yeah, I should have gone the other way, damn it. My instincts are bad for this game. I keep... Okay, this is rude, putting one like behind here like this. Oh wow, we missed the H too. I totally just completely missed that we missed H. Oh, that's mean, because that'll force you to end the level, and then you can't get the secret exit. Yeah, that's actually really rude.